So we last time left uh, by completing all our previous tasks, and we added these tasks in our to do, and we had one more task in our Jira. So I'll show you that we just had a task to research about the third party websites, these third party APIs. Uh, so I did research about them, and there is there are some things I'll discuss. So uh, today we need to do database design. I mean, continue this and then LLD overview. Since we were lacking behind, and this is all. These were the tasks for 8 July, and today's 10. So yeah, pretty late. Um, while starting database before starting database डिज़ाइन हम लोग पहले डिस्कस करते हैं कि क्या थर्ड पार्टी APIs है और क्या लाइब्रेरीज है जो कि हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं बिकॉज हम लोगों ने लास्ट टाइम जो बनाया था DB का स्कीमा या इसमें यूज़र का बना दिया प्रोफाइल का बना दिया टेम्पलेट का बाकी है चैट का बना दिया पेमेंट का बना दिया था एंड देन प्लान का बना मतलब प्लान तो पेमेंट में है देन रेज्यूमे का बाकी है सो रेज्यूमे बाकी है देन टेम्पलेट बाकी है नाउ देर इज़ वन थिंग नेम्ड जेसन रेज्यूमे सो आई विल शो यू दोज राइट जेसन रेज्यूमे ये रहा जेसन रेज्यूमे this is less like our typical resume and more like JSON format for resumes. So what it gives is it's an standard of making a resume and ये हम फॉलो कर सकते हैं ये फॉलो करना क्यों बेनिफिशियल होगा उसके उसका रीज़न है कि ये जो फॉर्मेट है इसके ऊपर काफ़ी सारे थीम्स है सो वी हैव जेसन रेज्यूमे थीम्स ये तो इनके थीम्स है जिसके अंदर अगर हम देखें दिस वन although this not like our resume it's more like a an HTML rendered from that JSON but ये जितने भी थीम्स होते हैं जेसन रेज्यूमे के वो सब इस स्कीमा के बेस पे वर्क करते हैं एंड दिस स्कीमा इज एन स्टैंडर्ड अगर हम कोई स्कीमा बनाते हैं जिससे हमको इस तरीके के टेम्पलेट्स रेंडर करना है तो वी हैव टू हैव अ वैलिड JSON resume schema. That's the idea. Now, if we follow this JSON resume schema, we can later on use these themes and all. Although जब हम प्लान कर रहे हैं कि हमें इनलाइन एडिट करना है लाइक रेज्यूमेस को तो उसके लिए मैं बताता हूँ क्या मैं बात कर रहा हूँ सो इफ़ वी वांट टू अलाउ यूज़र कि यहाँ पे अगर लिखा है एक्सपीरियंस एंड इफ़ यू वांट कि यूज़र डायरेक्ट टेम्पलेट में जाकर के इसको एडिट कर सके तो इसको हम कहते हैं दिस वन दिस थिंग what you see is what you get. Now we'll see about this one as well. What you see is what you get, editor. So what this is that it allows us कि हम inline ही edit कर सकें by giving these many features to us. ये सारे features जो हैं these features are like the key parts of allowing inline edits. So if we want to give user inline edits, we cannot go for just these themes as these themes are just HTML templates and they do not allow us to do inline AI UI edits. So we need to go for this. What you see is what you get editor. This is how usually it works inline editing. So we will say it. So before continuing with our uh, DB, we need to determine कि हम किस तरीके से टेम्पलेट रखने वाले हैं क्योंकि जो जेसन का स्कीमा होगा वो प्रिटी मच सॉरी जो रेज्यूमे का स्कीमा होगा वो प्रिटी मच जेसन रेज्यूमे जो हमने देखा था उसके जैसा ही होगा सो दिस विल बी probably a no SQL rather than an SQL. इसके अलावा there are few more third party websites I'll discuss. So there is one thing called reactive resume and reactive resume जो है ये ओपन सोर्स रेज्यूमे बिल्डर प्रोजेक्ट है जो कि हमारे से काफ़ी सिमिलर है सो लेट्स सी व्हेन यू साइन अप आई जस्ट साइन अप so we get an option to create a resume we can just create a resume either or we can import an existing one. The catch here is that it allows LinkedIn data, but we need to pass the zip. While in our project, we want user to give just profile link. So we don't have any choice. We have to scrap LinkedIn, and that's another story. Like um, LinkedIn doesn't allow people to pro scrap anyone's profiles and even they had cases like this HIQ versus LinkedIn. This one. They did. It's a small analytics company, and they did scrapping of LinkedIn, scraping information from public LinkedIn profiles, which we want to do exactly. So LinkedIn used legal means to prevent this. Now they brought case against LinkedIn in district court, which means LinkedIn is not joking around regarding scrapping. So we need to think about it. Maybe we have to use scrapping dog, which I just saw that it provides LinkedIn scrapping, though pretty expensive. Like it provides APIs, but it has expensive pricings, somewhere $40 per month. So maybe initially we may go through some cheap ways and then later integrate this one. Could be a good way to avoid getting banned and allow website to work in production. Yeah, let's work upon this. So let's let's say this is a test resume. Then let's create a resume. And now here we open it, and we see that there are templates like this. And if we add anything, we see them here. So location is like this. Uh, we see everything, every detail in here. Though we cannot edit inline here as well. So that will be a plus point for us that we can edit inline in our website. Uh, Other than that, this allows us to edit through AI. Now, to edit through AI in this website, we have to go through their homepage and then in settings, we need to put our OpenAI key. So here comes the negative part of this website. Though it's not a negative part, it's an open source website. Anyone can come and build resumes for them. They just have to uh, bring their own OpenAI API key, which certainly is not possible for everyone. Since we are building the platform. Um, this kinda does the job, but we still have the scope of improvement. This is how it looks. If we choose this one, it updates. maybe this one, yeah. So updates like this. Now this one has good, we say, integrations. We may use this its code because this is open source and we can look in it. But at the end of the day, we need to use this editor and uh, build our own scraping services to allow LLM to fetch data, or we want to fetch data on behalf of user. Um, Moving ahead, we may want to start designing a template DB at least. Um, so I don't have any idea how we are going to do this, but I'll tell LLM, tell GPT right now that we will be using JSON resume for our resume DB, and let's see how we are able to design a template DB. So that's what I'm going to do next. Go for GPT, and last time we left here. Yeah, uh, take this. Now, resume, not resume actually, template DB. Or maybe we go for resume first, then template. Now resume DB. Uh, we already did for resume. And to use JSON resume. Do I will be building the bot to structure and this was tell your this okay. It's gonna say it's a good idea, but I don't know. Let's just see if the code structure using data exponential. Yeah, that's one really good thing because AI will be able to edit our resume quite well because of its JSON structure, which is why it's preferred works with LLM because it's easy prompting, parsing, transformation. It's a standardized schema. That's why we can go for it. Uh, when we design our own this editor, WISIWYG, then we can map things easily. We may look at some of the templates which people made for this, and yeah, we can utilize some of those. So we have this user resume, top level pointer, then resume version, then resume snapshots, then resume, and this is the resume. Mm, So this one, track metadata about the user's resume, current template, current version. So we are binding the template ID here, we are binding the version ID here, we are binding the content here. Um, then we are having just some metadata here. This is the resume version which we were talking about earlier. We have the resume ID, and this is the version number. We get the template ID. We get the change type. Um, we get created it. These are just some fields, and we may extend them, reduce them. Depends. It's a resume snapshots. Snapshots are for those where we save a resume while building them and then build upon it. So that's a copy of snapshot is a copy of the current resume, and we can later on go and start working on those snapshots as well. Oh, this is something else though. I think it misinterpreted. So it has an ID, resume ID, a snapshot name. We have old version ID. Uh, we have this one. I will just say earlier we had the doubt of uh, storing snapshot or storing new resume of the current resume. I thought of storing new resume might be the better option, but GPT told me not to. I just forgot what why was that. So I'll see here if it's mentioned. So we have this snapshot thing. Yeah, so in this one, we only store metadata about it while we make a new resume, which was the idea. Just tell them that it's a snapshot, what's the origin ID of this one, and what's the snapshot name. I don't know if a snapshot name is the correct. I guess it's ID, the new resume's ID. I'll just use that. So let's continue with this architecture only. Uh, and we'll use this one first, resume, user resume. So we have DB, trigger for user resume, and in this we have ID, and so that is user resume ID. We have user's ID. Then in user resume also we have created a field. Then we have current template, current template ID. We have current content. Then we have template is done, resume version. So let's just add that current current resume version ID, because these all are IDs and I'm referring them as ID. So yeah, current version ID works actually. You don't have to go for current version ID. User ID done, title. So user ID is done. We need to add title here, obviously. Then current content. We have current content. We have current template ID, current version ID. Mm, we have created it, updated it. Uh, we can use updated it just to show user when was the last time user updated this resume. So updated it. This is done. Now we can go for resume versions. So we copy this one. We go for resume version, and in resume version we obviously need resume ID, we need version ID, resume version ID. Then what do we need? We need resume ID, we need ID, resume version number, yeah, too. So this one is like resume ID, but here it is user resume ID. Makes sense to store its resume ID though here, and even makes sense to store as resume ID here too, because at the end it's resume ID. So I will refer it as resume ID. Um, then this is resume ID. Then we have resume ID, resume version ID, or maybe just a version ID because version ID. Uh, we have version number, version number. We have template ID too because whatsoever templates is used. Template ID. Um, we have content JSON. So we have content. Now we have content in resume versions. We have content in current content. So if we store resume version too often, we might just bloat our database with content. We just have to take care of when to store this one, when not to. That's why we have to go for that premium feature of limiting user to create multiple resumes. Otherwise, our the way we are designing, we aim to make it scalable, but still there are some constraints which we have to take care of. Uh, then there is change type content. So change type. Change type. We got created. Wait, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So now we got resume ID, version ID makes sense, version number, complete ID, content, change type, and content created. We always load content from this one, but whenever you user presses Control Z or like undo, then we load this resume version into this. So we have a track back of all the history. Then we support snapshots, but not these snapshot. It just misinterpreted. So I'll just correct it just for the sake of context. So the resume snapshot is a copy of current working resume. We store another working resume saved till point, just so the user can continue using this copy without losing the making save and user visual backup or branch of their save and yeah, now this works well. So, but we need to create a new resume here, and cannot go like this. Let's say we create a new resume. So let's say user creates a new resume. So we transfer we have to handle versioning as well. We do not transfer any versioning there. Um, we just create one version. Maybe we create an initial version of the resume, um, which will be linked like this. Other than that, we do not have any versioning. We store resumes ID, create a new resume ID. We user ID, we have user ID. Title is, we will prompt it as a copy, dash copy. Um, Current content. So we transfer the content, we transfer the template, we transfer the version, we transfer the creator data and all. So that works. We can just store for the sake of storing. We can just store the resume snapshot here. So, snapshot. And in this we can utilize snapshot ID. So, snapshot ID and what is snapshot too. So you don't need to. If we are storing it in this one, then it's in the snapshot. So I don't know if this is helpful. Origin resume ID. That's certainly helpful. So origin resume ID. Then we have snapshot name. Yeah, we can go for this. Snapshot ID. Then snapshot ID, which is just an. So this is a log, kind of log that we snapshotted some resume. So we get snapshot ID, we get original resume ID, and then we can maybe have the newly created resume ID, origin version ID. Yeah, we can actually store this one, origin version ID. So let's say user creates a new. No, but this is complex. We can just create a new resume and that should not support any versioning. मतलब उसके starting point में we do not have any history of early early history. So we don't need this one. Um, we we can have this one just as a metadata, but again, right now this doesn't seem useful. Snapshot name, we can have snapshot name, snapshot content. We can have snapshot content just for the. I don't know. I'm not having. I'm not bloating it. Let's keep snapshot ID, origin resume ID. No, 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 no. We have created it, and then these, and the snapshot name. So let's go for the snapshot name. Snapshot name. That's it. So we got the resume DB here. Now let's reverse resume DB and let's just give them data types. So this in a string, this one is in a string, this this is in a string, this is JSON binary, this is the current template ID, this is string. Oh, this is a string, this is then this is string, this is string, this is number, this is the string. When I'm not naming these as Postgres convention, I know this string becomes text there, but just for this JSON change title. This is an enum, and we can have so versioning is either edit, either resume template change. Let's see. We have version here. Edit template switch AI edit. So got edit template. Edit switch AI edit. Done. Done. Edit. Now session. This is it. Done with resume DB. Now we need to go for template. Let's go for it. Then now we to allow and what this is format. Something full is telling master template versioning, template system, destination warning, easy theming, store fonts. It just ignored like this last section. Welcome, full running flow. Unfortunately, no open source resume template system exists with this particular commercial. So we took a look at this React resume, this JSON resume, JSON template system, but it's not this, and it's monolith, and it's not. And then I also took a look at this JSON resume thing, but this is also not visual, and I also look at resume CLI resume right now, and that generates resume by CLI. It doesn't work for us though. Building a development kit. So we basically have to build our own templates. Simply, that's it. Um, we will go for these. Let's see. So we have template which has ID, name, description is active, true. Then preview image URL. Wow. Uh, created by, created at. Then we have template layout, section layout, order and position, template ID, layout type, section order, then layout config. This layout config could look like this. Then we have template styles. So template styles have these. Then we template components. Every section is rendered using components. Three Did these prompts update order controls not happening. If we have to build our own build editor, this we gonna invest some good amount of time in this one. Also improving this template components, template field mapping, binds JSON resume schema to component parts. So we have template field mappings. That's how it works. Template version. We got template versions as well. And it's good to have template versioning just so it don't mess up later. Let's go with it. We have templates. We take it from yeah, we got ID, templates name, templates description. I don't know what's description for. Template ID, which is a string. Then templates title. We have template store it as name, templates name, templates title. What's the then template description is active. We won't add description here. Um, we have title, we can name it as name, template name. We have is active, so state of template. So boolean is active. You can have preview image URL definitely. Preview image URL. And this is string. Then created by and deleted created by string and delete created then we template now template layout template layout was like this. Template layout. Now this will have definitely template ID. Will have layout ID. Got template ID, layout type. We have enum of layout type. So single column. Double column and then maybe let's just keep this two column section order which is an array. So layout order. This is an array and has layout configurations. I'm just following GPT here, nothing else. Layout config. Create create a device. Let's layouts designing. So template styles. Styles. This will also link to template ID, then style ID. Now style ID will become very vague. So template style ID, uh, then font family, font size, font family could be enum just to support a bunch of things. Font family, font size. Font size could be anything. So, size. We have color scheme. Oops. Color scheme. Yeah. Heading style, bullet type. Yeah, these. I don't think styling a resume is very difficult thing as we read this. It gives too many flexibility, so many functionalities. If we just define that what kind of primary and all these colors would be and how would be the bullet style and we can just render a whole React component which looks like a resume. So color scheme done, heading style, that's heading style. Then we have bullet type, bullet type. We can have bullet type. Then bullet style and then padding. Bullet style. So this is a JSON text. Okay. And then this is padding. Got flexible schema here. Then we have template components. Every section is rendered using components. So edit these props, update all the control slots. Okay. We go for template component. Here we have component ID, then template ID. Uh, Again, component is just we need template ID. So we can take template component ID. We go for key, which is this key. We'll write down the block. I'll ask questions to it once we complete this. So this is some string and key. We have props, JSON, okay, JSON, then we have section. So whatever section we are editing, I guess that thing is section. In section. Order and section and creative. Section and creative. Order and section is okay. This components order. And we have these template fields mapping. So field mapping. Here we have ID, template ID, resume field. Template ID, template field mapping. So I'll just name it as TFM. TF ID. We have resume field, target component field. Kind of going up on my head. Just ask us. This define what parts exist in resume template, how they look and in what order. Think of them as reusable UI blocks. At a block, space one work item is one work export. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense because we have to render that again and again. Or we have to render project again and again. We have to show, yeah, definitely. Then template field may have to inject resume data into component. This tells here rendering again. From the user's JSON resume, where does each piece of data go in the visual template? It's like binding system between JSON resume fields, the template contains blocks. Okay, so this is a common field mapping. That's right. Both are needed. This definitely works. Template field mapping, we have TFM ID, resume field. Next. It could have been a target component key. Okay, this one. So if it's an header block, then this one works for header block. Target component. Target target path. Where is required. I do have is required in default value. I'll just add in the last and default value. Because if there is nothing, then I mean everything is required if we actually think about it. This piece of resume data manual for the template to remotely. Yeah. Component display users name title. If this is missing from the resume data, you can gracefully show me after the data and zero colors. Okay, okay. That's the following. So, play video. We have to go with these many tables and JSON schemas as well. What to manage? We can go through LLD overview after this. Because we cannot move, like we cannot improve these right now. We have to go through some code, or we have to think about the project more just to analyze if this gonna work or not. Best bet is to leave these as these are and start working on the project. And we may improve ahead. So this one can let's do LLD overview. And before doing that, I would like to submit detail blueprint of the software. This is what we made for a HLD. I'm pretty much sure this is not how we make LLD. This kind of looks like this, where we do include the data types, we do include methods. Primarily focus on the internet details use identify discuss how each component will be implemented, detailed component design, class diagrams, database design. So we are already done with database design. We need to go for detailed component design. We have to go through class diagrams. We have to go through state and sequence diagrams. So then we have one sequence diagram, but that's very high level design type. We did not write a functional and non-functional requirement. We will do later. So we have to go through design patterns. Here, let's just so class diagrams, then design patterns and all. Though I don't know if we actually have to make classes because let's see, looks something like this.